Some of the best minds in the world bringing you some of the best knowledge on TRS Clips. Do you think that there's a lot of animals down there which are not discovered also?
As far as I'm concerned, being a clearance diver and being a marine commando, I've encountered jellyfish underwater. I've seen a lot of fishes. Grouper is one fish I've seen. I've seen moray eel. I've seen sea turtles. I've seen a lot of other colored fish.
Sharks?
Sharks, I've seen smaller ones, not the bigger ones. Okay. Especially when you dive in the Andaman Nicobar Islands, and also the basic reefs, if you see where there you find, and of course sea snakes.
What's the animal that you're the most wary of when it's near?
Actually, looks wise, it is the moray eel because it looks deadly. It looks like a reptile underwater, and it can actually confuse with let's say a crocodile or something. Because you also have sea crocodiles, and in the Andaman Nicobar Islands, there was a time when there was
salties,
salt water, actually sea crocodiles.
And they're significantly larger than land crocodiles, right? As far as I know. Like, I think they're dangerous animals.
They are dangerous animals. And of course, they hunt for food. The sea snakes are the deadliest snakes in the world. But the beauty is that there are very few known cases of a sea snake bite death. Because you see Indian fishermen, they actually remove the sea snakes from the nets and just chuck it back into the water. Because they got small beaks. And they are very shy. They don't actually bite. But if they bite somebody, then the guy is gone. Because there is no antidote for that.
Have you had interactions with crocodiles?
Not with crocodiles, but I had close shares with moray eel and also with the Portuguese man of war, which is basically a jellyfish.
Okay.
And jellyfish are actually dangerous because they got these tentacles, and these tentacles have got small pin sort of thing, which actually is like acts like an injection, and they can inject poison into your body.
And you've been stung?
I've been stung, and it was quite dangerous because I was stung when I was in part of the Operation Pawan. We were deployed in Trincomalee Harbour, and all the naval warships used to come, and our job was to go underwater, search for any mines and all. Because the easiest way to have maximum casualties is to put a small limpet mine under a war vessel, and and time it to a couple of hours when the ship is sailing with 600 passengers or soldiers, it just blasts and the ship goes down. So we used to ensure that before a ship comes alongside, we used to dive on the jetty and see is there any mine-like object or mine. If it is there, then we have to dispose it off. Similarly, also on board a ship, every 2-3 hours we used to come and do diving. Now the waters are very clear in Trincomalee Harbour. You can actually throw a coin and see the coin at 20-30 meters depth.
Wow.
It's that clear. It's as clear as Lakshadweep Islands.
Okay.
And they are one of the good dive spots. So there we used to see, a bunch of jellyfish with tentacles, actually moving around through 2-3 meters, extending 2-3 meters long. And we used to avoid them. But
how big are they? Like, how big is the body?
Jellyfish could be about anything from a smaller one to about half a meter to one. I've seen a jellyfish which could be a diameter of 1.5 meter. More than this light. And then more than this light. And then when it comes towards you, it can have tentacles which can be about 2-3 meters. And the tentacles are also moving so slowly, you will not realize it. And if you're like, in my case, what happened, I was diving. And when I came up, I saw the jellyfish and I was trying to maneuver myself. But then some of those, the tentacles got caught in my neck and my neck was exposed. And I had high fever for 2-3 days.
Do you sense aggression from those?
Not aggression. I mean, it is just not that they are trying to harm us, but it's their domain, their medium. We are trying to interfere in their medium.
It's self-protection.
Yeah, self-protection. Actually, underwater.
What did it feel like getting stung in the neck?
See, it was like a burning sensation, and thereafter, it's a poison basically. It's not a very potentially. It cannot cause fatality in human beings, but it can really make you sick. So I was sick for about 4-5 days. It's like a strong bout of viral fever you have, no? Continuous high temperature of 103, 104. It remained for about 2-3 days. And then, of course, we put soda lime cocktail and all. We put some other kind of, some kind of lotions and all, which our medical doctor gave us.
Is it true that human urine is a...
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, seawater is an antiseptic by itself. So if you have any heavy cuts and all, you just go and dive in the sea, it becomes all right. Healing is faster. And of course, what you said about this urine has got a lot of benefits. One of the benefits is this, and we do it actually.
And did it actually help?
I didn't put urine here, but I'm just saying that people do when there's some cut in the leg and all, we're done, we peed there and it actually relieves you, because it's hot, something very hot flowing around there and you get a psychologically, it's going to become all right. Yeah, that way.
Just sharing a very urban, non-adventurous perspective with you.
Yeah.
But we had a recent trip to Dubai for the sake of YouTube vlogs. Like we were trying to, get some experiences in. Dubai Mall has this big aquarium where they allow you to actually dive with really large sharks on you. At least what is large in my perspective. They would have been at least 6.5 feet sharks. They don't really come very, very close to you. As in they'll swim past you. If you put your hand out, you'll be able to touch them.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, what's it called? Not stingrays, but manta rays.
Manta rays, yeah. They're also dangerous.
Yeah, which will swim really close to you in that aquarium, which is very strange for someone. Like, I'm not even a trained diver.
Manta ray I've actually encountered, but not in a dangerous manner. I've seen it swimming past us in Lakshadweep Islands.
Yeah. I remember telling my my buddy, who's also my co-founder, we had decided to do this experience. He was very up for it. I was scared because I have this fear of like sharks. And he said that, no, let's do it. It'll be a life experience. Once we actually got in, so I'm a trained swimmer and I was very comfortable in the water and these animals were swimming past and the energy I sensed from them was honestly a little sad when they were in that aquarium. I think they were very aware about the fact that they're not in the open ocean.
Okay.
So I sensed like a little, I don't want to say sad energy, but little like, oh, look at us. We're like, we're stuck here. It was like kind of like that energy and a little lazy. And I confirmed it with a European friend of mine who dives actively. And they said that, yeah, these animals are behaving different from the animals we see out there in the ocean.
Yeah.
My question to you is, what is the energy and the vibe of like the animals that you encounter? Like, are they in their own zones? Are they aggressive? Are they just living life and like exploratory?
See, I'm not into research on this subject, but whatever I've read. See, it is very simple. If it is not your food, then why will person try to that animal try to attack you? That's number one thing. They all are domain-specific animals. So anybody intrudes, it's an intruder. An intruder is like a trespasser. So obviously, he's threatened more than that animal is threatened more than you are threatened. So now, but the third and more important thing is that they can sense whether you are scared or not.
The electrical impulse of your
body.
Impulse,
yeah. If they can sense, like they say, if a shark encounters you, I mean, they used to tell us, but we used to just feel if a shark encounters you, you just stay there. Don't try to swim away. Stay there next to the shark. Because invariably what happens, seals and the turtles are the food of sharks. When a person is swimming on surface and a diver is diving underwater, the silhouette is like those animals. So a shark cannot differentiate. That's why, and if it's hungry, the shark is hungry, it will go and attack. And it doesn't attack singularly. It's like, feeding frenzy is there where more than one shark is there. But it is said that any animal, if he senses that you are scared, he'll try to make you scare more.
You see this even with city dogs.
Yes.
People who are just afraid of dogs and they kind of act like the dog will actually come up and try to scare you.
So while I'm not a psychological analyst of animals, but I can just relate to what I've read about animals on ground to the same thing underwater.
Have you done that ever? Have you been in a situation where you had to stare an animal in the eye and just tell the animal to back off?
But dogs, yes.
In underwater?
Underwater morail, yes. Once it happened, we did 10 days diving camp. So this was one of the encounters. We had many more encounters. So now we knew that, if morail is looking at you, you just look at him, but not from very close. And we are not adventure seekers, We are doing our own business. We are actually doing training. And so it's invariably seen that when you lock your eyes with the other person or with an animal, there is some amount of stillness. And then, as you see in a lot of National Geographic also, the shark will swim away or something will swim away. So my experience is only one, but I think it does play a role. Your psychological things does play a role.
You need to tell the animal who the predator is.
Who the predator is. Or you have to tell the animal, look, I'm not in any way trying to harm you. Something like that.
Oh. What's the biggest thing you saw underwater?
The biggest thing I saw underwater is manta ray.
Okay.
Manta ray was pretty big. The tail was very long. I thought manta rays are playful, but they're not.
Why did you think they're playful?
Because, actually, it's psychological. Manta ray, the design of the way it is shaped, I feel like is a elephant ears,
It's like the equivalent of thinking hippos are cute and then you find out that they're responsible for the most human deaths.
Actually, hippos are the most dangerous animals.
Yeah.
And we always thought hippopotamus, because whatever you see in comics, it gets on into your psyche and you feel that hippos are. But when you read about it, they've got, as you rightly say, the maximum human deaths have been caused in the Nile region, because of hippos.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the entire episode and also check out this playlist that we've curated just for you.